Hey, how you doing? Imagine a world where animals aren't just born, but they're designed. Genetic engineering is no longer science fiction, it's actually science fact. But are we opening the door to progress or something we can't control? Here in the barbershop, we've been breaking down lately with the topic of the day some of the interesting and complex topics shaping our world today. The topics we've been discussing here lately has been about animal genetic engineering. More recently, how scientists, within the last, actually, probably for the longest time since the sheep, have been reintroducing extinct animals. Example, the dire wolf pups. They're resurrecting our beloved household pets, and I promise it's not like Pet Cemetery. Not going to be anything like that, I hope. Welcome back to the Barbershop Bull Session. I'm Barber Dave. Colossal Biosciences has announced a short time ago that they've resurrected the dire wolf pups using DNA from bone fragments discovered at the La Brea tar pits down in LA, out west there. And through the barbershop chatter here and checking some online resources, I found out that the pups are more like 99.9% gray wolf with a small portion of dire wolf DNA. So that seems to be the information coming out. Could you imagine seeing a woolly mammoth or Tasmanian tiger wandering around like a zoo-like park setting? It's almost like resurrecting the ultimate Jurassic Park experience, without the chaos. Might be tempting, right? But, that chaos part, we've seen the worst side of that kind of stuff. Just through the movies, obviously. This technology is powerful, but, it carries risk we may not fully understand. Cloning has been a giant leap in science, but, I guess with the education too, but, it seems like we're playing God. Reintroducing extinct species is one thing, but what about the species of animals that are hitting the extinction list today in modern times? Quick story one of my clients brought up about the mom and daughter white rhinos down in Kenya, or out in Kenya. Last two northern white rhinos on Earth are Nijan and Fitu, whatever, a mother and daughter that are protected in a conservancy in Kenya. The younger female daughter, is the only one that can produce eggs. So they're using her eggs and frozen sperm from deceased white rhinos and creating the embryos and then transferring those embryos to southern white rhino surrogates. So we wish them luck. That's the only way they're going to make it, and I see stuff like that and we all agree on that. I've heard through the barbershop chatter that they've been changing the genetic makeup of animals for our food and for our medicine for some time now. It's a field that's seen dramatic advancements, supposedly, and now in 2025 it's sparking plenty of debate. Is this progress or are we crossing ethical lines? And here's an ethical question brought up by several clients in the barbershop. If cloning can lead to health problems, abnormalities, premature aging, then cloned animals might also struggle to adapt to today's environment. It's probably going to be real hard for them to, have natural defenses with diseases. Hard to tell, I guess. As we speak, labs are in the process of genetically engineering livestock for better food production. Now that's been in the news. I've been seeing all kinds of stuff like that. For instance, you got salmon. They're being engineered to grow faster and require less feed. I got a list here I'm going off of. Pigs and chickens are being engineered to grow faster and be modified to be more resistant to diseases. The swine disease, whatever it was. Cows have been modified to produce more milk with higher proteins and bred to be resistant to mad cow disease. That's probably going to be a big thing. Sheep, they're being engineered to produce more wool. So there you go. That'll help there. Medical innovations, producing proteins for human medicine. Some of the examples, You got goats. They're being engineered to produce human proteins to treat human diseases and prevent blood clots. I didn't know that. Pigs are being genetically modified to reduce the risk of rejection in human transplant recipients. That makes sense since we've been doing that for quite a while. You know, pretty much addressing the shortage of human organs. We'll discuss that in another video. Engineered animals. They can also mimic human genetic diseases like cystic fibrosis to study the disease and test potential treatments. I think this is great, you know, that they're doing this. Pets are being designed for aesthetics. Now we're going into the pet side of this. Sort of to improve the appearance, correct defects. They're doing stuff like glow pets for monkeys and fish, which is weird, but that's something. Look it up. You know, and speaking of glowing pets, is pet cloning a privilege only for the elite? I mean, a lot of people stress about the need for shelter pets, you know, and to adopt them. A company called Viagen is primarily the main company offering pet cloning in the U.S. Maybe now there's a couple more, but that was the big one, and it has been the big one ever since. The process of pet cloning became commercial back around 2003 or 2004. At the beginning it was like $100,000 per pet, but now it's like $50,000 for a dog, $25,000 for a cat. So, you know, does cloning, I guess, does it bring closure? You know, are people stuck in the past with their pet? Recreating a beloved pet, you know, with all the bells and whistles, I don't think it could be done because it's strictly with the DNA. You know, because they say while a clone pet will be like a genetic replica, it's actually unlikely to have, like, you know, the same personality or temperament as the original pet. Potentially, and has upset several people in the process. So when they say that they're close to successfully replicating species, we all got to wonder how bad or creepy that trial by airside has got to be in the process. You know, I hate to say it, but it's got to be one hell of a freak show. Are we treating animals today as commodities rather than living beings? That's pretty much kind of up in the air, it seems like. A majority of the guys here agree at the barbershop that we should celebrate the memories of our pets and try to move on. In conclusion, as technology evolves, the line between innovation and, I think, interference is going to become a whole lot more fuzzier. Does science know when to stop? I don't think so. What do you think the future holds? Animal genetic engineering is reshaping our world in ways that were unthinkable years ago. It holds lots of potential, but it also raises a whole lot of important ethical and practical questions that we here at the Barbershop all agree demands attention and transparency. So what are your thoughts? Should we continue down this path, or are we moving too fast? If you found any of this discussion informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share any of your views in the comments below. Give us some ideas. Give me some ideas of stuff to put on the topic board here. We're always getting into some great debates here at the shop, so stay tuned for more chatter from the Barbershop, bull sessions, and stay sharp. Thank you.